All right. We are live here from Stony Brook as Stony Brook Baseball is down 2-0 to Northeastern here in the top of the 6th. Stony Brook is now pitching with Ty Panarillo on the mound. The count is 0-1 and there are no outs. This is the first batter of the inning. And we immediately start out with a walk to Bentley, so Northeastern gets a runner on as we settle in here.
First baseman, number 26, Eric Cha.
Northeastern scored a run in the 2nd off a sac fly and a run in the 4th off of a wild pitch. Michael Worley worked 4 innings and gave up 2 earned runs, but gave up no hits, or actually no, 1 hit in the process. Oh, 0-1 count now. Panarillo settling in. And a pickoff attempt back to first, but diving back safely is the runner. The runner on first is Bentley, who, as we just mentioned, walked in the previous at-bat. 0-1 pitch. Another pickoff, this time a closer play, but still safe. Takes the lead again. Panarillo looking him back. Here comes the 0-1. That is a little low. They try the back pick to first, but once again he's safe. 1-1 count now. One pitch, fouled off. 1-2. This is the first conference game of the season for the Seawolves, beginning a 3-game weekend series versus Northeastern.
Also their home opener.
Right, they got a game canceled. That was supposed to happen on Tuesday. It got canceled due to snow, rain, something.
Well, the field just wasn't quite ready.
Right.
And take a look at the softball field behind us. It's not quite
Very
ready
not
either.
ready. All right, 2-2 pitch. Hit up the middle, could be a double play. Running to first. And the throw by Coffey pulled him off the bag, but they are able to get the out at second. 1 out as the runners trade places.
Okay, so not a good throw, but you can't assume the double play, so it's going to be a 6-6 force out.
Right. The runner at first might have been safe, even if it was a good throw, but we'll never know as it kind of pulled the first baseman Carson off the bag. Coming out now for Northeastern, their third baseman, as Panarillo gets ready. First pitch,
Escatino.
outside, right. I'll let you take that name.
Okay.
Here comes the 1-0 pitch. As he holds and now fires one for a strike. Fastball in the outside corner. Looked like it could have been a ball, but umpire called a strike, and the count is even, 1-1.
A.J. Escatino, he actually has some friends and family in the crowd here because he's from Miller Place, Rocky Point High School on the Northeastern team.
Swings and misses at the 1-1 pitch, 1-2.
Nice curveball, dropped it in on the lefty, righty to lefty here.
Right, it really sunk. All right, 1-2 pitch.
Maybe a slider there, but good breaking ball regardless.
1-2 count, 1 out. Stony Brook up, Stony Brook down 2-0 in the 6th, as that pitch is too low and the count is even at 2-2.
Okay, try to come inside, now try to get him to fish outside, but again, too low. But he's keeping the ball down, so count 2-2.
Panarillo looking for maybe a double play to get out of this inning, try to get Stony Brook back up. but instead gets the strikeout on the low pitch.
Tried the same thing, and he flailed at it. Came a little bit closer to the plate. He had to swing at it because otherwise he might have been taking strike 3 there. But chalk up another one.
Right, he saw that curveball got him on the first attempt and went right back to it, got the same result, and now there's 2 outs.
Okay, so for Panarello, that is his second strikeout so far in his second inning of work.
And now for Northeastern, it is Tarantino, their catcher, coming up.
Okay, where's number 19? That's Cooper Tarantino. He is from Sudbury, Massachusetts, not far away from the Northeastern
And once
campus.
again, Panarello trying to pick off the runner. This time it's a different runner. It is Ka on first. Still 0-0. Here comes the first pitch. Panarello. The runner goes. It's in for a strike. Throw down to second. Got him! What a throw by Dell to get Stony Brook out of the inning. A caught stealing, and Stony Brook comes up to bat, looking to get some runs on the board.
Perfectly positioned. It was high and right as he on the correct side of the plate of the space rather as he was sliding in. Good defensive play by the Seawolves. Now we go to the bottom half, and Seawolves have only been able to muster 1 hit so far.
Right, that was by Matt Jackson. A base hit to right field. Right, we can kind of catch you up on the game now that we have a break in the innings. Once again, Northeastern scored first in the second inning off of a sac fly and scored once again in the 4th inning off of a wild pitch on kind of a crazy play. A run scored, and then the throw home got away, so another run tried to score, but was ultimately thrown out at home.
So Robbie O'Connor so far has allowed only the 1 hit, has walked 1, and has struck out 6 so far in the 18 batters that he's faced.
You know what? Yes, that's definitely the plan right now.
And it looks like O'Connor is still on the mound.
No need to pull him
Yeah,
at this
no
point.
need to pull him, for sure.
He's only had 57 pitches. Pretty efficient here over the 5 innings of work so far.
And this is a Northeastern team that has talent. They're 3-6 so far in the season, but that more speaks to the quality of opponents they've been playing. And speaking of which,
Same thing with the Seawolves.
they kind of pulled a Stony Brook, Matt. They beat LSU in their most recent game, 13-10. So a very impressive win over number 2 ranked LSU. So they're definitely riding high coming to this matchup.
Well, Northeastern has traditionally been the class of the CAA. Maybe a little bit decimated this year only because they've lost a lot of players to the draft. But any team under Mike Glavin, yes, Tom Glavin's brother, is always going to be formidable.
All right, James Schaefer up for Stony Brook as the first pitch is in for strike 1. Schaefer 0 for 2 today.
I thought it was a little high. Don't want to get thrown out of the game, though.
Second pitch is chopped to the left, but foul. And Schaefer hitting just .231 so far in the season, but
Well, one
Still,
reason
you're right.
why is because
the quality of opponents, yeah.
quality of opponents, number 1, but now we're dealing with March baseball in New York, and temperature in the 40s, still chilly.
Right, it's 40s, but it feels a little colder as that pitch is fouled off. Schaefer able to stay alive. Count still 0-2 as Stony Brook trails 2-0 in the bottom of the 6th. Seawolves had a leadoff base runner the last couple innings, but were unable to capitalize. Trying to continue that with a leadoff base runner here. Unable to, however, as Schaefer strikes out. That pitch a little inside, could not catch up to it for out number 1.
Well, he took a lot off it. That's the reason why. Is because way off speed, slow curve, able to catch him flailing at it. That's strikeout number 7 now for O'Connor. Now he's got a lefty coming up.
Right. It is Nicholas Drombowski, sorry, who steps up, also 0 for 2, but hitting .316 on the season as he takes ball 1 outside. So Connor still rolling for Northeastern after that strikeout. Stony Brook looking to get something going as another pitch well outside, so 2-0 count. Not even really close on those first couple pitches.
Now remember, righty to lefty, the ball is supposed to come in on the lefty. He has to consciously throw outside to keep it out there.
2-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled. Fastball kind of right down the middle, it looked like.
And it kind of pinballed off the tools of ignorance of both the catcher and the home plate umpire. But that's why they wear the masks.
2-1 pitch from O'Connor. That's a little high, close to the zone, but gets called a ball. 3-1 now. Hitters count.
That's about letter high, which normally would be a ball. Maybe a little inside, too, a little
Right,
off
but
the plate.
from what we've seen so far this game, it could have been called a strike. That's hit in the air to center field, but they have a beat on it, and it is caught by Giretti, the center fielder, for out number 2.
Okay, that was an easy can of corn. Of course, people are going to be excited whenever a ball is in the air. Speaking of balls in the air, the flag over by the scoreboard in right field, which has not changed. There have been a lot of changes made to Joe Nathan Field in the offseason. They should definitely bring that to everyone's attention. They put new padding on the outfield fences, actually all around, and looks much nicer and much more professional, I think.
All right, stepping to the plate is Johnny Pia, who pops one right up to second base.
Now, who's going to get it?
The right fielder will take it, Bentley, to end the inning, and another quick inning from Northeastern as we head to the top of the 7th. Seawolves down 2-0.
Well,
just one hit tonight.
What's most important here for Northeastern and O'Connor, he only threw 9 pitches in that inning. I mean, he could go all day like this, and that's going to be a problem for the Seawolves. They have to wear him out, and they're not coming close to doing this.
You need to work the counts.
Exactly. And now he's throwing strikes, too. Getting some strikes, but you've seen the pitches. I mean, the only thing he threw was really off the plate was one outside pitch. That's it.
Well, and speaking of which, throwing strikes was the problem so far for the Seawolves as Michael Worley started fresh off a great start. He was the only winning pitcher so far for Stony Brook this season. He threw 7 scoreless innings against FIU in that last matchup. But today, a little less effective. 3.2 innings pitched, 2 runs, 1 earned. He struck out 5, but he walked 6. And that was the main issue. Especially in this cold weather, it's understandable, a little hard to grip the ball, a little hard to control your pitches, but issuing way too many free passes, and that's how they were able to get both of their runs off the sac fly and the wild pitch. So far, though, Ty Panarillo has been superb out of the bullpen. 2.1 innings pitched up to this point. 0 earned runs, just 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts.
So, going back to how decimated Northeastern got because of the draft, 90% of the team's innings pitched from last season are gone. Okay? And 2 of Glavin's assistants, by the way. 5 MLB draftees, 2 top 10 round picks of the San Francisco Giants, and outfielder Cam Maldonado, I remember him, and left-handed pitcher Jordan Gottesman, remember him too. But 26 returnees, so the Huskies led the nation in team ERA last year with 3.06 and ranked 2nd in stolen bases. So none of this should be a surprise. They went 25-2 in the CAA, 49-11 overall.
Seawolves now entering the top of the 7th, down 2-0 to Northeastern. That first pitch was in for a strike, and it's 0-1. That one's low, 1-1. Tarantino is up once again because of the caught stealing at the end of the inning. So he will resume this inning with a fresh count. Now it's 1-1. That pitch chopped, a slow roller down the left, and a smart play to leave it go foul. Would have been a really tough play there for Schaefer. Decided to just let it go, and it will be a 1-2 count.
Yeah, don't try to field that one. Let it go foul. If it comes to you, you do what you need to do. But if it stayed fair, it could have been an easy infield hit, too. So.
Right. Would have been really hard to throw him out if you field that in play.
Okay, so
Panarillo now, 1-2 pitch. Looking to start out this inning strong with the strikeout. That one's low. Kind of sunk out of the zone, but did not get Tarantino to chase, and it's 2-2. 2-2 pitch. Struck him out. Swung and missed. Tarantino is gone, and that's the first out of the inning.
Now, the most important thing here is the Seawolves have been able to, for the most part, match Northeastern's pitching. I mean, O'Connor has been phenomenal, but he will wear out at some point, provided, of course, you make him work.
Up to the plate now is, Christian Walsh. No, Chris Walsh, the junior infielder, and he takes ball one.
Only a 154 hitter.
I mean, he's hitting ninth, so that kind of makes sense. That one's popped foul, and the count is 1-1.
He's only had 2 hits. He's 2 for 13. So, yeah, that will round itself out over time, I'm sure.
I mean, both teams are really pitching poorly. I mean, hitting poorly. 2 for 17 for Northeastern. 1 for 17 for Stony Brook. But Walsh lines it up the middle. That's a ground ball base hit. And so, Matt, you were just saying he hasn't that many hits. He has one there to lead, not to lead off the inning, but
third hit of the year for him.
Possibly a 1-out rally here for Northeastern as they try to extend this lead.
Now, no activity going on in the Stony Brook bullpen or in Northeastern's. Stony Brook bullpen, of course, on the right field side. You can see it a little bit better than you used to be able to.
And the Huskies now back to the top of the lineup with Carmelo Musiaka. Runner on first. Panarillo now working. That pitch is just low. Ball 1. And Musiaka is 1 for 2 so far this game, but which was his first hit of the season. He's doubled and walked. 1-0 pitch now. And that's lined in the left field, right in between shortstop and third. Back-to-back base hits for the Huskies, and now they have something going here in the top of the 7th.
Now we keep an eye on that bullpen in right field. Now you have a window, so the players, number 1, can see what's going on the field, and number 2, we can see if anybody's up. We see a ball going back and forth. We used to have to watch a ball get thrown back by the catcher on a high arc. Now, Jim Martin's going to go talk to his guy because he's just left a pair of hits. He's got runners at first and second, still only 1 out. And now you see guys getting up and moving around in that bullpen.
And for Stony Brook, as I've mentioned, Panarillo this game has been great out of the bullpen in relief of Worley, but back-to-back hits, especially one by the bottom of the order, just his 3rd hit of the season. That's not what you want to concede in this situation. And now for Northeastern, it will be Harrison Feinberg, the left fielder, who also picked up his first hit of the season. He's 1 for 2. First pitch is chopped to the right, but foul.
Went into this game leading the team in batting average. By the way, we're at the top of the hour. It's 4 o'clock. This is not WUSB Stony Brook. It's Instinct playing with me again. It's actually WUSB Sports YouTube channel. But normally at the top of the hour, we give a legal ID when we're live on the airwaves. So there we go.
That pitch is lined. Coffee. And Stony Brook cannot turn the double play. The throw is low, and in will come a run.
Still can't assume the double play, so they got the force. A run scores on it. Makes it 3-0, but
Coffey fielded it and flipped it to Pia to get the out at second, but the throw to first was low and skipped away, and in comes the third run for Northeastern. Could have been an inning-ending double play, but instead they're still in trouble.
now what I'm going to see here, now we'll see what the ruling is, because like I said, based on the double play, you can't assume it, therefore, but looks like they are they charging an error? Because I see 2 errors up there. I believe the Seawolves had those already.
Right. You can say you can assume the double play, and
Cannot.
Since they got an out.
Yeah, you get the out, but you can't assume they'll get
Yeah.
the second, and that's where an error can't be scored on it.
All right, 1-0 pitch now. As they go for the pickup at first, close play, but slides in safely. And now they're going to issue a balk, so Feinberg will move to second, and that's the second balk of the day on
that's
Stony Brook pitching.
Also, the reason why you had the reaction from the Northeastern bench, because the balk was called, and very nearly got the pickoff, but still. Another runner in scoring position for the Huskies.
So at bat with a 1-0 count is Ryan Goretti, the center fielder. Lefty batter, as Panarillo floats one in just off the plate, 2-0. Goretti is struck out swinging in the third and the fifth.
Okay, so an error is charged to Pilla because it caused the run to score.
And that's sliced foul. He got a good piece of it, but it's way to the left. And 2-1.
So the error is not based on the missed double play attempt. The error is based on allowing the run to score.
And that's a huge insurance run for Northeastern. 3-0, very different than 2-0. Because it means Stony Brook now needs to get multiple batters to the plate, or multiple batters on base to get the tying run to the plate. As the 2-1 pitch comes in, skips in low, 3-1.
Got a right-hander warming up there. Can't tell, it's way too far away to read by number. So, when he comes in, he comes in.
3-1 is the count now. Panarillo working against Goretti. Here comes the pitch. No, he picks off to second. Another close play. But once again, Feinberg able to get back safely. I wouldn't say there's really a stealing situation for Northeastern with 2 outs. Not a huge incentive to get the run of the third.
But
I
if it
guess
takes too big a lead, you want to nail him.
Right, exactly. 3-1 pitch. Just outside, ball 4. 2 runners on now for Northeastern.
Okay, now we got some trouble here. He's going to slow things down a little bit because he's going to let the fellow warming up in the bullpen get some extra work in.
And now it will
Before
be
the hook
Brinker.
finally
Matt
comes.
Brinker, the senior, will come to the plate.
Because remember, the second time the coach comes out in an inning, he's got to pull the pitcher.
Brinker trying to add some insurance. But once again, a pick off to second. Another close play. I think Panarillo thought he got him.
That was very close. Had to dive back and reach with one hand back to the base. That was too big a lead to take here in a situation like
Right.
this. Because last thing you want is to make the third out on a pickoff.
Well, I understand trying to get a big lead to try to score off of a hit.
You also don't
But-
want to run yourself out of the inning.
And again,
Almost did.
and again, Panarillo almost a balk there. Kind of hesitated.
Well, that's the other thing. He's trying to bait him into a balk and get a free pass to third.
Still no pitches so far in this at bat to Brinker, the DH. Runner on first and second. Stony Brook down 3-0 in the top of the 7th to Northeastern. First pitch swung on and missed. Brinker, that looked like an off-speed pitch. Might have been out in front of it, but nonetheless it's 0-1. Brinker was the one who got thrown out at home, trying to score as he lines one into center field. Should be an easy play, and Nick Zamperone will come away with it to end the inning. So limiting damage, but 1 run is in for Northeastern.
Unearned, no less.
Unearned. Another unearned run, the second of the day.
That's 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 runners.
So time for the 7th inning stretch.
The score, Northeastern 3, Stony Brook.
This 7th inning stretch, probably a much needed stretch here in the cold weather. Legs might be locked up a little bit, sitting down for a while. I definitely need the 7th inning stretch, personally.
George Karatzis also doing some more photography for the sideline. Want to promote that as heavily as we possibly can, the Stony Brook sideline. The entire WUSB Sports staff doing double duty, writing, shooting, creating a sports website dedicated to the Seawolves, and providing the best coverage you can get anywhere. I mean, anywhere. And that includes Statesman, yes. Mainly because all the Statesman guys ended up on the sideline. So.
Well, and it's all sorts of content, too. It's not just the typical game stories. There's previews, breaking news stories,
columns.
Features, columns. Right, just anything you want to know about Stony Brook Sports.
Which I think for you guys is great, because this is where you're really going to cut your teeth. You're going to, by running it yourselves, basically becoming an ESPN.com for Stony Brook. George checking on who's got the lone hit, Matthew Jackson. Thank you very much. He also drew a walk, so he's 1 for 1.
And so for Stony Brook, you just, as you mentioned, Matt, need to work at bats, need to get O'Connor out of the game. Just keep the line moving.
The only problem is 66 pitches through 6 innings. So this guy is not exactly breaking a sweat here.
And speaking of Jackson, you just mentioned he had the only hit and a walk. He's leading off the inning for Stony Brook. Looking to start a rally in the bottom of the 7th for the Seawolves, trailing by 3 runs. First pitch is outside, ball 1.
Now, so far, remember, I'm only had a chance to watch him for an inning or 2. He does that with lefties, try to get him to fish.
That pitch is fouled back. Jackson got a good cut on the ball, but was unable to get it in play, and it's 1-1. And so O'Connor, 7 strikeouts, as we mentioned, just 1 hit and 1 walk, both to Jackson. As Jackson swings and misses, 1 and 2.
May have gotten a piece of it as well, regardless. It's a foul ball.
Jackson trying to start things off for the Seawolves. 1-2 pitch. He lifts it in the air to left field in foul territory and just out of play into the bullpen.
Now, you can tell from our angle, though, it was not going to be able to stay in play. But
Ashatino almost got a read on it, though. If he stuck the glove out, I thought he might have had a play, but...
Now, normally, when a ball goes out there, you see a bunch of kids running for it because there's still snow on the ground. I don't think they want to get their feet wet.
Right.
And also, there's a lot of mud.
Not a... the field looks beautiful, as you mentioned, but the surroundings around the field still a little...
Rough.
A little rough. Exactly. 1-2 pitch. In there for strike 3. Jackson, I think, thought it was a little low, but got locked up for the first out. And here comes Chance Dowdy.
That was a very good pitch.
Very good pitch, you're right. 8th strikeout for O'Connor.
You know when this song came out? Like 1953.
Dowdy.
One of the earliest rock and roll songs.
Hitting just 118 this season. Looking to pick it up right here as he chops one foul to the left. And the Seawolves not getting many balls in play either. As you mentioned, 8 strikeouts, over 6 1/3 innings.
No 3-ball counts, no deep counts at all.
Right.
And that's because he's
pounding the zone, right. That one, that was a little outside.
And some of them are just too close not to swing at.
Right, even the ones that missed, they're not missing by much. That pitch was a very good pitch. 1-1 count now. O'Connor pitching to Dowdy. And Dowdy gets a hold of that one to center field. But running back should have it is Goretti, and he does. So a hard line shot to center. But
That's one of the hardest hit balls I've seen from the Seawolves all day long. And yeah, he had to run back a little bit to get at it, but
it was still sort of right at it. Yeah.
Well, the other thing, too, one thing that is missing from this new fence they have here, okay, they have the yellow line that determines whether or not it's a home run, but there are no dimension markers and no foot markers out there, so you don't know what the dimensions of the ballpark are. Now, I happen to know roughly what they are, and for the first pitch of the ball, but I happen to know roughly what they are in terms of the alleys in particular. This is designed for a line drive hitting team.
Chris Carson up for the Seawolves, takes that pitch right down the middle for strike one. 1-1 count. Looking to get something going with 2 outs.
Mainly because those are the type of players Matt Senk would recruit for the most part. More recent years, he went for more power because he had to, but.
And Carson lines one into right field. Diving play, unable to get it is Bentley, and that's a hit for the Seawolves, their second of the game.
And that is the type of hit the Seawolves have traditionally been best at getting. So line drive, past the diving outfielder. Now, he was able to keep the ball in front of him because it could have been easily
right, that
been
could have
an
been a
extra
triple,
base.
yes.
Yeah. And Jim Martin continuing the tradition.
So Nick Zamperone is up now, trying to get the Seawolves just even a little closer, trying to get on the board.
Now remember, when Senk retired, he campaigned hard to keep Martin because he wanted that to keep going.
And we've seen so far this season, that has been how the Seawolves are hitting. No one with crazy power like we saw last year, but just consistent hitting, putting the ball in play. That's how the Seawolves want to score their runs.
Well, I think people are getting tired of exit velocities and launch angles and stuff like that, and they realize the Toronto Blue Jays got to the World Series just doing what you said.
And Zamperone bluffs a bunt, even with 2 outs. I guess trying to see how the defense would react, or just trying to entice the ball, but it's strike one. O'Connor in an 0-1 count. Tries for a pickoff on first. Carson's back easily. I think that was more of just a warning. Like, I'm still paying attention.
Stop taking
Not
a
necessarily.
big lead.
Right, exactly. But oftentimes we see pitchers do that kind of half-hearted move and then go to their real pickoff move. So you got to watch out for that. But the pitch comes in just off the plate, 1-1.
He just doesn't get behind his hitters. So,
well, in Zamperone, maybe the best offensive Seawolf so far. 324 in the preseason. Now in conference play, looking to continue as he fouls one off of his body, takes a little grimace, shaken up a little bit, especially in the cold weather. I'm sure that really hurts.
but with the 1-2 count, he's ahead once again.
And can the Seawolves just put the ball in play, keep fighting off pitches? They've been unable to do it thus far. But now in the late stages, you need to get these type of at-bats in your favor as another pickoff. Once again, Carson back safely.
There is activity going on in the Northeastern bullpen because you're getting into the late innings, and the Seawolves are starting to work them a little bit, and the pitch count's starting to climb. So Mike Glavin hedging his bets here.
1-2 pitch. Chopped to the left side. Good contact on the ball, but it goes foul. So Zamperone was on that just a little early on that pitch, but he saw it well. Stony Brook down 3-0. Bottom of the 7th to Northeastern in the first conference game of the season, first home game of the season. 1-2 pitch. Popped foul. So just as I mentioned, Zamperone able to stay alive, fighting off these pitches, trying to work along at bat. Aiden Coffey is on deck, and he wants a chance to come to the plate as the tying run. 1-2 pitch from O'Connor. Runner goes just outside, The throw is well late, and a stolen base there for Carson. Runner in scoring position for Stony Brook.
So all of these pickoff moves, trying to keep him close, and he gets a great jump on that stolen base attempt. So now the Seawolves have a runner in scoring position here with 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th, 3-0. Seawolves need to get on the board here.
Right, just even trying to get one as the 2-2 pitch comes in. And that's lined into center field, but it will hang up for Goretti. It was unable to drop in.
So O'Connor dodges a bullet
and it remains
there.
scoreless.
Best threat the Seawolves have had all day long. He completes 7, and he gets out of it. But here's the thing. We said 66 going in, 83 coming out. So a little bit more. Seawolves worked him a little bit.
Right, and that, as you mentioned, we saw late in that inning activity in the bullpen. It'll be interesting to see whether he comes out to start the 8th, and if he does, what kind of leash he has. I can't imagine him getting much higher than 100 pitches in this. But I mean, he's pitching well, so no reason to take him out, well, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's at 83. They're definitely going to start him in the 8th. There's no doubt about that.
And so Pannarillo returning to the mound for the Seawolves. Even after giving up that run, once again, it was unearned.
Well, that's the thing, because it was unearned.
And so a long relief outing here.
He's got 3 1/3 or in so far, and Worley went 3 2/3.
Right,
and
almost as much as a starting pitcher.
Yeah, gave up 2 runs, 1 of those earned. That's the other thing. Seawolves need to shore up their defense a bit because the 2 errors have led to runs.
Well, and you can't be too mad. 3 runs isn't bad.
No.
On the pitching side.
But when you have a pitcher like O'Connor,
yeah,
who's
you need to be tight.
Putting the hitters to sleep, you don't have a lot of margin for error.
So Bentley will lead it off for Northeastern. Carter Bentley, sophomore outfielder. Once again, Stony Brook is down 3-0. We're now in the top of the 8th inning at home against Northeastern. First conference game of the season as Pannarillo gets ready. First pitch is hit in the air to right field. Multiple Seawolves converging, and an over-the-shoulder catch there by Pilla. 1 out.
So it's the outfielder's ball until the infielder calls it. And
number 26, Eric Shaw.
Pilla came out, what they used to call, sometimes still call, a Texas leaguer, a short fly ball into the outfield.
Now to bat is Ka. And he swings at the first pitch, chops it out. The third baseman will take it and throw him out. So a nice play by James Schaefer there. Back-to-back quick outs for the Seawolves.
Well, the other thing, too, is that they had the shift on. The Major League rule is that they can't put 3 guys on the left side. In college, you can do it as much as you want, which is exactly what they did.
Right, and multiple Seawolves were right there in the area. We saw Schaefer take it, but Coffey was also right there. So good positioning and good strategy by Stony Brook. As 2 outs now, stepping up to the plate is Ashatino, who takes strike 1. And so Pannarillo looking to get out of this inning quick. Got the Seawolves back up to bat. Pitching in an 0-1 count right now. That pitch is swung and missed. Another one that we saw dive down. Started out as a strike, dove down, and got the hitter to chase. 0-2 now, 1 pitch away. He winds up. Here's the pitch. That's way low. Try to get him to chase again, but that time, that pitch was never a strike. Bounced a couple feet in front of home plate. Seawolves down 3-0. Top of the 8th. And that pitch again low. 2-2 count now from Pannarillo on Ashatino. The lefty, Ashantino, is ready. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung and missed. A really quick inning for Stony Brook, and Ty Pennerillo getting better as he goes here out of the bullpen.
Brilliant. See, you're starting to get the better pitching performances out of these Seawolves. You started seeing a little bit of it against Georgia Tech, and more so last weekend against Florida International. Of course, one of those games got rained out. So they're getting the pitching. Now the hitting needs to stand up. Okay, so coming up to start the 8th, you got the 8, 9, and 1 hitters, Aiden Coffey, Scott Gell, and back up to the top for James Schaefer. But we have a new pitcher for Northeastern. So, number 29, some numbers on him. 28 or 29? It's got to be 28. There is no 29.
Andrew Basil.
Okay. Andrew Basil, he is from he's from Mineola. Okay. But he went to Mineola High School, not Chaminade. The reason why I say this is because Bill Basil was a longtime football coach at Chaminade, a longtime member of the phys ed department, so maybe related, maybe not. In any case, let me get you some numbers on him. Pull up Northeastern stats. So Basil, a 3.38 ERA. He's pitched 5 1/3 innings. He's given up 2 runs on 2 hits. Both of those earned. He's 18 at-bats against him, and he's only allowed those 2 hits. That's a 111 average against. So he is here to shut the Seawolves down and put a bow on it.
Right, and so while you're happy as a Seawolf about O'Connor coming out, he shut you down the whole day. It's not like all of a sudden you have an easy path to scoring, an easy pitcher. Another good pitcher out here trying to preserve this 3-0 lead. And we do have a pinch hitter now for Stony Brook. Coffey is pinch hit for by Mike Villani, who is 3 for 4 so far this season, so 750 average. Really early, but good so far. Here's the first pitch. And he swings and ropes it into right field, right back, and Bentley makes the catch. So he got on that first pitch, he attacked it, put a good swing on it, but once again, a hard hit ball was
to
caught.
The warning track.
Yeah.
Now, watching that flag, not a strong wind, but it's blowing in, and it's cold. Okay?
Right, on a hot day.
Sunday, it's supposed to be in the 60s. That ball might go out.
And another pinch hitter now, Brett Davino, is in. So Jim Martin shaking up the lineup a little, trying to get something going offensively. First pitch. And that's on the outside corner, 0-1. Davino personally has had no at-bats this season. Great time for your first hit, though. And another one on the outside corner, same pitch, 0-2. Seawolves looking to get together offensively, and that's lifted into center field. Should be a routine play for Giretti, who makes the play. Kind of scooped that ball out. It was a low pitch, but was unable to drive it. 2 outs.
Basically golfed it.
Right. So the lineup turns around now. Schaefer back up. 0 for 3 today.
If anything, the Northeastern gets a break there because that pitch was down and away. He went for a bad pitch.
First pitch to Schaefer, and he floats it up. Should be another routine play, this time Feinberg, and 3 flyouts. And once again, a quick inning as we move to the final frame here. 3-0 Northeastern, top of the 9th, here we come.
Okay, so talk about not making somebody work. Okay, so I'm just looking here at how many pitches he threw in that inning. 3. So Basil not only didn't even break a sweat, he didn't even stretch his arm out.
Right.
3 pitches, 3 outs. That is not what you want to see from a Stony Brook team,
Well-
I mean, or any team, but in particular Stony Brook, because this is a team that has to work counts and has to wear out pitchers and has to do all the basics because they're not going to rely on on power.
Right. As you mentioned, the roster makeup, but also just the situation. You're down 3-0. You just need base runners. As I
Right.
mentioned before, just a solo home run is great.
And they were
But-
swinging at not great pitches. I mean, that
Right.
last pop-up, he got under it because his pitch was high.
Right. You have to work the count. You have to just try to drive the ball, maybe even to the opposite field. That's always a good formula to get a base hit. But the pitching, once again, give them credit for Northeastern.
Okay, some changes to Stony Brook lineup. Let's get you up to date on those because, hold on.
And so the Seawolves are going for a new pitcher right here, Riley Bridges.
Yep. And not only that, Luke Zepek is catching.
And we saw the Seawolves come up with a couple pinch hitters in the last inning. One of them was Scott Gell, who got pinch hit for by Davino. So now Zepek is in to take control of his position behind the plate.
Against Northeastern. First pitch is slated for 2 p.m.
Bridges just trying to keep it close in this top of the ninth, within striking distance. Just 3 runs. You've struggled offensively, but all of a sudden, if you can get a couple base runners on, you can make a comeback. But once it gets to 4 or 5, that's where it kind of gets out of reach.
By the way, another nice touch they've added to Joe Nathan Field. They've also put Matt Sink's number 10 in center field as a little thank you to his 3+ decades, almost 35 years of service, and getting the Seawolves into the College World Series and putting this program, putting this school on the map.
Right, well, and we mentioned this is Jim Martin's first season at the Reins, and they gave him sort of a nice acknowledgement, a nice shout out for getting his first ever win as head coach a couple days ago against FIU, 11-1 victory. So a nice moment for him. Would hope to pick up his first home win, but the Seals have work to do. As it's 2-0 now.
Now, it was a check swing. I don't think his wrist broke, and they went for the appeal at first base,
Well,
and they agreed.
That's not what the Seawolves are arguing about. They're arguing that they shouldn't have even needed to appeal it because they thought it was a foul tip. So in that case, it wouldn't matter if he swung or not. But nonetheless, it's 2-0, but now 2-1 as that pitch is fired in.
You know
for
what?
Bridges.
That might have been a gimme because that pitch was a little low.
Maybe a makeup call, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll take it if you're Stony Brook, though. 2-1. That pitch, similar location, a little outside, and it's 3-1. You don't want to start this off with leadoff walk.
No gimme on that one.
3-1 now. Tarantino is up for the Huskies. And I think we have a little something on the field. A slight delay.
A ball.
A ball from the bullpen.
Ball,
That's
yeah.
not a good sign.
Yeah, you can't
for
have
Stony
another
Brook
ball out
pitchers.
there. You don't want to be playing the wrong one.
All right, 3-1 pitch from Bridges. And that's hammered into right field. Chasing after it is Zamperone, but that's going to get down into the gap. Still hustling, going for 3 as the relay comes in. Throw to third, not in time. A leadoff triple by Tarantino. Not what you want to start out the inning for Stony Brook.
And that's why the gaps are deep at Joe Nathan Field, for the Seawolves to take advantage of those things, not the Huskies.
So now you're really in a bind right here if you're Stony Brook. Just a sac fly or even a ground ball can get the job done. As Walsh, the number 9 hitter, comes up. Not a great hitter, but he got a hit so far in his most recent at bat, trying to drive in a run as he fouls one back on the first pitch. 0-1.
Infield drawn in with the runner at third.
And Bridges has struggled so far this season. Again,
And
tough
nobody
opponents,
out.
tough lineups, but 4.1 innings pitched this season, 7 earned runs, 7 walks.
The other thing, too, it's a nice opportunity for a squeeze play, which is another reason why everybody's drawn in.
Right. Especially early in the season, trying to see a lot out of your hitters, especially Walsh, bottom of the lineup, trying to earn some more respect as he takes that pitch outside, 2-1. Bridges now trying to, this is a major strikeout spot if you're Bridges. Trying to avoid any ball put in play. As the 2-1 pitch now comes in. That's low, so another 3-1 count. Stony Brook trailing 3-0, top of the 9th to Northeastern. First game of the season at home, first conference game of the season. Looking to pull off a comeback. That one in for a strike, and we have a full count. I think Walsh thought it was a little low.
I think so too, but
so can Bridges take advantage? 3-2 pitch. That's chopped up the middle. Diving Coffee is not able to get it. And excuse me, that was not Coffee, as he got pinch hit for last inning, who tried to make the play. That was Mike Villani, but he was able to make the play. 4-0 Northeastern.
Now, he's drawn in, right? The ball is just a little bit to his left. He has to stab at it. If he was playing at his normal depth, he would be able to take a step over.
If the infield's not in, you make that play, but I think the run scores regardless.
The debate goes on because it would have been a 6-3 play and an RBI ground out. So either way, but it's ruled a hit.
And Musakia is up for Northeastern as we go back to the top of the lineup. And Bridges 4-0 now, still trying to keep it close. Give the Seagulls any chance for a comeback in this 9th. And that's popped foul, 0-2.
You know, in UBS Arena, the Rangers suck. Well, they just happen to these days. They're last in the Eastern Conference. But
what would you say here? Like, Hofstra sucks?
Nope.
Just be respectful as a fan.
No,
here comes the pitch. That's too high.
You'd say, well, the problem is that too many Huskies come from the local area, so.
You don't want to disrespect. They're the opponent. I mean.
No, you probably just say, well, look, Ranger fans yell Pot fans sucks at all other events, so why not?
Musakia able to stay alive. Foul tip right there. Still 1-2.
I've heard Pot fan sucks yelled at a Yankee game.
Bridges still looking for the first out of the inning. Runner on first. Seagulls trailing 4-0. 1-2 count. And that's way outside. It's a wild pitch. And the runner moves to second. Able to advance is Walsh. And that pitch just low and outside. Really hard for Z-Pec to handle.
It hit the ground. Automatically a wild pitch.
Yeah. So now a runner once again in scoring position. Huskies trying to break it open here in the top of the 9th. 2-2 pitch. He got him to chase. A strikeout there for Bridges.
This time, the wrist did break. He did check his swing, but he went a little too far on a pitch that was low in the way.
And you can tell that's the pitch that Bridges wanted to throw in the last pitch.
But he got where he wanted it, out of danger, and picked up a strikeout as a result.
So Feinberg is up for Northeastern now. 1 out, still a runner on second, as he takes the first pitch at the letters a little high. Feinberg 1 for 3 today, and he's walked, so been on base twice. Good opportunity to drive in a run here. Dancing a little was Walsh, able to induce the pickoff.
Now, with only one out, you might want to make a run for third.
Right. This is where it would make sense to steal. Get yourself in the same position we saw earlier in the inning where a sac fly or ground ball brings you in. 1-0 pitch again, going for the pickoff. Not a great throw, but just trying to keep him honest there at second. Kind of thinking what we were thinking.
He dove, he had to dive back, but still not a very big lead. Sometimes I wonder if it's more of a distraction for the pitcher than for the runner. Now
And
he's
there
go.
goes the runner. Pitch in for a strike. Not even an attempt at a throw. So the 2 pickoffs did nothing to dissuade the stolen base.
Well, the other thing, too, is that Zepek, he had the batter in his way. He had no chance to get a throw off, not in time anyway. And he ran the risk of a throw going to left field. So might as well eat the ball.
The infield has to come in once again for the Seawolves. 1-1 pitch is high, so 2-1.
Want to get that breaking ball over and sneak it onto the corner, but just missed.
Seawolves trailing 4-0 in the top of the 9th. They just have 1 out so far, as that one swung and missed way out in front of it. Almost a flailing attempt there by Feinberg.
A strikeout would be nice here.
Right, strikeout situation. Strikeout or weak contact.
Actually, no contact. Take the strikeout.
2-2 pitch. Foul back, so staying alive is Feinberg.
Now, this is the Pot Fan sucks, except that they whistle at the guard because the guard won't actually play it on the organ because of it.
2-2 pitch from Bridges on Feinberg. That's just outside. And another 3-ball count. Every batter so far. So Bridges working really hard. 16 pitches already. Just 1 out recorded. 3-2 pitch struck him out. Maybe a little high in the zone. Got Feinberg to chase. 2 outs.
He swung at a ball. Okay, so a little bit of a coaching visit here.
As Garrity will step to the plate.
Yep, here comes the hook. So let's see who comes out of the bullpen here. Of course, my eyes aren't that good. I gotta wait, but he wants the lefty, so. And your lefty will be. Get a little bit closer so I can read your number.
Well, and right. This is the kind of loogie type of situation if you're Jim Martin, where you bring in the lefty, hopefully just to face 1 batter.
36, Jordan Welch. He's from
Farmingdale,
and he's a sophomore. 35? Yeah, Aiden Colgrande. So yeah, because Welch is a righty. Okay, Aiden Colgrande is a lefty. From Kings Park, and a transfer from Fairfield. Okay, some numbers on him. No, not there. Wrong team. Come on, guys. Okay. Okay. Colgrande, a 6.23 ERA on 4 appearances. He's pitched a total of 4 1/3 innings. 5 runs on 4 hits, 3 of those earned, 3 runs earned. 5 walks, 5 strikeouts, 263 average against.
Well, and Matt, you mentioned the sideline. Oh, sorry, were you going to say something?
Remember who he pitched against, and I can give you the splits for that as well. Rutgers, FIU, Georgia Tech, and Arkansas State. So it's not like he's been facing easy lineups here.
And he really just had 1 bad outing against that number 5 Georgia Tech.
Yeah, he gave up 3 runs on 4 hits and 2 innings against Georgia Tech, and has given up only 1 run in his 3 other appearances. So just a little blip.
Looking to keep this a nice short 1 batter, ideally. pitching appearance for Cola Grande, who, what I was going to say is, the sideline had a great profile on him and his brother Hunter, who for the first time kind of ever are getting to play together. Just because of some weird circumstances, injuries, playing at different schools, different ages. Both of them not exactly how they would want to start this season, but once again, just the first conference game.
Well, they're 2 years apart in age, so going through Little League and stuff like that, they would never be able to play together. But surprisingly never, well, did they go? No, they both went to Kings Park, so.
But if I remember correctly, as the first pitch in there swung and missed, I think one of them was injured 1 year. They may have played one game together before the other one got injured. And once again, this is Aiden Colagrande on the mound as that pitch sweeps outside. So Northeastern still sticking with Goretti. Makes sense. He's their third batter. Trusting him against the lefty. Trying to drive in a run that would probably seal the game if it comes in. And that pitch again sweeps outside, 2-1.
Let's go, 35.
Stony Brook down 4-0 here, top of the ninth, to Northeastern. Count is 2-1. That's popped way foul.
Do you really think it's going to come anywhere near you?
2-2. Stony Brook. For all their hitting struggles and still 4 runs, not an amazing pitching performance, have skirted to bite them. That's how they still have a chance in the bottom of the ninth. But I don't want to speak too soon as that pitch is outside, 3-2. Not out of the woods yet.
Let's go, Ray, win this.
3-2 pitch to Goretti. He just awful surging and it pushing
There you go, kid.
to come away with it. So once again, just 1 run scores as we head to the bottom of the ninth. Last chance for the Seawolves. They need 4.
Left on base. And to the bottom line, the game is scored. Northeastern 4, Stony Brook 0.
Now the weather is going to be better over the weekend. Now let's see how much better. I'm just gonna pull up my little weather app video for the Sunday game, depending on, well actually all of it depends on what the men's basketball team does. Okay, so your temperature here at Stony Brook is now 41 degrees and we're out in it. Tomorrow goes up a little bit to 48, cloudy, 65% chance of rain according to this forecast, but I've been getting mixed forecasts about Sunday. But the temperature is supposed to be in the 60s, so that's going to be nice. Provided, of course, we're going to be broadcasting here or from DC.
Well, and hopefully we're not going to be broadcasting here.
Right.
Because that means success for the men's team.
Yes.
Men's basketball team, I should say. And once again, that first game coming up in Washington, D.C. in the CAA tournament tomorrow at noon.
11:45 a.m.
Right, we'll be live 11:45. And that's against Campbell in the first round of the tournament, 8 versus 9 seed. So Stony Brook theoretically is favored, but anything can happen in these tournament games.
Of course, the only problem is if you win the game, you get the 1 seed. So that's why they wanted to finish higher. But the 8-9 is supposed to be an even matchup, and it will be.
So it will be Nicholas Drombowski starting things off for the Seawolves. 0 for 3 today. It's Drombowski, Pilla, and Jackson due up. And then Dowdy and Carson after for the Seawolves if they can get something going. First pitch is lined into right, but caught. Sharp line drive right to second, caught by Walsh. And that stings if you're the Seawolves.
Perfectly placed for it, but hey, you hit the ball hard, it's at somebody, percentages usually favor you, but not all the time. That's what baseball's all about.
So Johnny Pilla will come to the plate. Pilla has been having a good season so far, hitting .290. Struggling today, looking to turn it around in this at-bat as he fouls off the first pitch, 0-1. It's still Basil for Northeastern, so they're trusting him to get the last 6 outs. I mean, he's looked sharp so far, 4 really quick outs. What, 4 pitches before that?
Well, that's the other thing, because if they had made him work in the 8th, Northeastern would have had to bring somebody else out to close. But, 6 out save and enough pitches for 3. I mean, he's still in single digits.
And again, there's been just 1 RBI hit in this game, and it was that one that came in the last inning, which maybe shouldn't have even been a hit if not for the infield in. 2-1. That's just outside. Northeastern complaining. 2 pitches that could have gone either way.
This is the deepest count the Seawolves have had so far against them. I mean, they've been hitting the first pitch at people.
3-1 pitch to Pilla is outside, so the Seawolves do get a base runner on.
So think of it this way. He threw 4 pitches to the first 4 Seawolf batters and threw 5 pitches just now.
Matt Jackson, who's been the best Seawolf so far tonight, reached base twice, got their first hit, trying to come up with another. As the infield shifts right, so the shortstop is basically at the second base bag. And Jackson does go to the opposite field, lifts it deep to left field. That is back, and it is caught right at the warning track by Feinberg.
Gave it a good ride considering he went opposite field.
And that's what you mentioned before. On a hotter day, if the wind's a little different, that ball goes out.
Exactly.
But regardless, Seawolves down to their final at-bat.
So Pilla had to rush back to second to avoid the double play because he was like 2/3 of the way down. He may even pass second at that point.
And so now it will be Dowdy, the final hope for the Seawolves. And he gets nicked by the pitch. Northeastern, and especially Basil, not so sure about that. They'll come out to inquire.
Caught him on the elbow pad, and you heard a little click there.
And
So.
Dowdy immediately knew he got hit, so he ran to first.
And the ump could have easily seen it. There's very little doubt one way or the other.
And so Chris Carson now, Seawolves down to their last out, but need just 1 more base runner to get the tying run up to the plate. So a little bit of a rally here in the 9th, trying to stay alive. Once again, infield really shifted on the lefty Carson as he takes the first pitch outside.
Carson has the other hit for the Seawolves. Jackson has one.
Carson, 1-0 count. That's just outside, 2-0 now, and Basil a little less sharp in this inning than last inning, not pounding nearly as much.
I think the Seawolves started to figure him out a little bit. They were swinging at bad pitches, let them throw bad pitches.
And on that note, pitching coach is out for Northeastern.
And activity starting up in the bullpen here. They want to nail this down. They've got 2 outs, runners on first and second here.
So Carson now, in this count, do you force him to throw a strike?
Of course.
Do you think there's an auto take right here?
Well, let me put it this way. If he puts one right down the middle, eat it up.
But don't chase out of the zone. Make
No.
him come to you.
Exactly.
Here is this 2-0 pitch. And he does come to him. That's a strike on the inside half. 2-1.
Now, that's why I question that. That was right down the middle.
That's a pitch you could have drove.
Yes.
2-1 pitch to Carson. And that's on the outside corner. So the Seawolves down to their final strike here. 2-2 count. Down 4-0. Runner on first and second. Basil pitching to Chris Carson.
You get the idea.
Here's the pitch. And he stays alive. Fouls it left.
I get the idea that the conversation was about don't try to finesse this, just
Right.
throw strikes and end this.
Because ultimately, right, you don't want it to happen. Even a 3-run home run, you're still in the lead if you're Northeastern.
Exactly.
2-2 pitch, chopped off the glove, a little bit of a deflection, but it goes right to Walsh, and that's the ball game.
A 1-4-3 play, if you will. But Seawolves didn't really do much offensively in this game, and they could use a little bit of shoring up on their defense because there are a couple of missed double play opportunities that could have cut the 4-0 down to maybe a 2-0. But that's the problem. The problem is that, yeah, 2-0 or 4-0, you still lose.
Right.
And when you're only mustering 2 hits against Northeastern pitching, now this may be the best pitching Northeastern's able to muster in the first game of the 3-game series. That's also what you're hoping for. But Seawolves on a cold day, their home opener goes to Northeastern 4-0, and you have to hand it to the Northeastern pitching. You gotta give the credit. The good pitching beat the hitting.
Well, and the Seawolves now drop to 0-1 in CAA play. First game of a 3-game series. They'll play here again the exact same time, 2 p.m. tomorrow.
And of course, be sure to tune into WUSB for tomorrow's matchup between the Seawolves men's basketball team versus Campbell in the opening round of the CAA tournament. So that's going to do it here at Joe Nathan Field. Your final score, Northeastern Huskies 4, Stony Brook Seawolves 0. This has been WUSB Sports on YouTube. Sweet. Done.